Hey guys, Black Screen Max here coming at you with a Transmetal review. That's right, I said it, Transmetal, and yes, we are back to reviewing Transformers. Now, reason why I'm doing the Beast Wars reviews in the manner that I am is because if you realize the past few Beast War reviews that I have done were all non-transmetal. Why? Because I was sticking to Season 1. Now, with the Transmetals, they came along in Season 2. And I gotta say, they are the most fun of the two, between a Transmetal and a regular figure. We are today going to be looking at Beast Wars Transmetal Cheetor. Just a little quick history on how the Transmetals came about. Basically, at the very end of Season 1, in the last episode of Season 1, we saw Optimus Primal in his stasis pod that he was in, going to destroy the Vok Planet Buster. Really not exactly sure on the exact name of the machine that he was destroying, but I'm just going to say the Planet Buster because in all honesty, if you remember, it shot out some crazy beam of light down to Earth, and yeah, it was just causing all types of mayhem. Now, as far as the Transmetals go, after the destruction of the Planet Buster, what happened was we had a quantum surge coming down to Earth, and basically the quantum surge was affecting all of those original Cybertronian Transformers. Now, as far as why it didn't affect the Earth-born Transformers, I have no idea. And also, another one, the others that it did not affect were the ones that were in a CR chamber. So that's just a quick touch on that. You may be wondering why we never got a Transmetal version of Scorponok or a Transmetal version of Pterosaur. Well, a little bit on that. Once the quantum surge came to Earth, Pterosaur and Scorponok, they basically got sent down into the lava pits underneath the Predacon base. Now, if you recall correctly, you did see them in their transformation, if you will, into their Transmetal bodies, but unfortunately we have lost we lost Scorponok and we lost Pterosaur, thus that's why we never really got them in the show as Transmetals. Now, looking at Cheetor right here, as you can see, he is pretty cool looking as far as his Transmetal body goes. You have a lot of the Transmetal effect going along his main body. You have little bits of Transmetal going on over here, turning him around, over here, and over here. Now, as far as size comparison goes versus his pre-Transmetal form, his Season 1 form, I'm going to put him right next to the Tigatron figure. Why? Because they have the same exact mold, and because I have plans later on. So you'll be seeing that later on. You can see actually Cheetor is a bit bigger than his pre-Transmetal form by, I want to say, maybe about an inch or two in length. And as far as width goes, still, he's pretty bigger. So I do like how they actually increased the size of Cheetor. I mean, they are still Deluxes, but I like how they did that. Moving Tigatron over here, back to the side. I think the funnest thing about the Transmetals is the fact that the Transmetals, they had not only a robot form and not only a alt mode, but they also had a travel form. Yes, we have kind of the Beast Wars version of the triple changers. So Cheetor, he's got actually an aerial mode. So let's go switch into the aerial mode. Now the way we're going to do that is going to take him over to the side, and you see how he has these gray bits right over here on the side. We are going to flip them open, flip the other one open, and then it's got legs in the way. Then underneath those, you have these little greenish bits. Flip that all the way up, flip the other one up. Now I like to keep it kind of like this, and then last things last is we're going to take the tail, pull it out, turn it around so that the fin is up, and plug it right back in. And here we have Cheetor in his aerial mode. Now I gotta say, this is actually a pretty sweet mode. The fact that now we can have Cheetor flying, which, you know, he was fast enough, but now he's just a fast flyer, so that's pretty cool how they did that. You know, as far as the other Transmetals go, we've had some pretty cool transportation modes, which I like, you know. It's just something that they didn't have to do, that they did, and I'm glad that they did. But aside from that, you see he is pretty accurate as far as the show accuracy goes. I mean, that is one thing that is definitely a plus as far as the Transmetals go, is the fact that they did make them a lot more show accurate than their pre-Transmetal modes go, which at the same time, you gotta realize that now the show is actually out and actually the modes were actually there, so, you know, the toy company, they had something to work with then, so, you know, I like it, I love it, I love it. This is Cheetor, flying mode. Anyway, moving on, let's get him into robot mode. So, what we're going to do now is just going to fold these wings out, fold them back down, fold the other one back down. We want to take the tail out, going to be using that for his sword later on. So just going to take that, put it over here to the side, and basically to get him into robot mode, it's really simple. All we have to do is take the whole entire shoulder part, if you will, just take that, bring that all the way out, and then just take the legs, just fold them up like so. Just fold them up like so. And there we go, we pretty much have his back. There we go. All nicely folded up. Then what we're going to do is just going to take his legs, straighten them out, and just like any other Cheetor figure, his back legs become his regular legs. After we do that, I'm just going to take these little green bits over here, and that's going to be making his heel. So just going to take the other green bit, just pull it right down, and that creates his heel. So we now have a transformed legs. Lastly, we have two more steps coming up. All we're going to do is take this bit right over here, just fold that down, and while we're folding that down, you can see where we have Cheetor's robot head. Just going to take that, flip it right on up, and then take this, fold that all the way down, and then split his arms. And just pop them all the way back. Just get everything all straightened out. And here we have Cheetor in robot mode. Now, I did mention that these are a little bit more show accurate, which, you know what, this is Cheetor right now. He had all these spots, and in all honesty, the way I'm looking at it is the evolution of Cheetor. You know, when we had him first in his pre-Transmetal form, he was more likely a kid, you know, he was learning the ways, and now we have him here in his Transmetal form, which he's more like, you know, he's grown up. He's kind of like in his adolescent stage, if you will. You know, he's learned the ropes, but now he's a lot stronger, and he's a lot, you know, he knows, he's not afraid of things as much as he was. Granted, he's Cheetor. He does things without Primal telling him to. But anyway, that's just him. Now, as I mentioned, the tail, just like his pre-Transmetal form, still becomes a weapon. So we have that weapon right over here. And then just going to take that and just pop it right on into his hand. And here we have him, fully in attack mode. Now, as far as the colors go, you know, they are pretty much there as far as show accuracy goes. You have all the transmetal effects going on, especially through his waist here. You have some right over here at the top, and of course you have his backpack over there, which is still the transmetal. I do like it. I love it. I'm not going to say anything wrong about this because, in all honesty, I really can't. I mean, they did a great job making this figure. Now, moving on to a comparison to his pre-Transmetal form, here we have his pre-Transmetal Cheetor. Now, you can see that he's a lot more fluid as far as the mold goes. You know, whereas we had the pre-Transmetal Cheetor, you know, the head was basically like a abnormal growth on his chest. Aside from that, the legs, they were basically like, you know, kind of out there. I mean, this was a, even though he is still a good figure, this was still a letdown, if you will. But, you know, as far as height goes, they stand out about the same height, so that's pretty awesome. But, I mean, you know, you can see definite improvement as far as this figure to this figure. Now, I also do have the Transmetal 2 version of Cheetor, which we will be getting to a lot later. So, you know, have no fear, that will soon be here. But, taking Cheetor back over to the side, I gotta admit, you know, this is a pretty cool figure as far as everything goes. I mean, it's show accurate, it's, you know, it's just a whole bunch of awesomeness in a chunk of plastic. Now, if you stay tuned, the next figure will be, well, do I really want to tell you? Because then you'll know what it is. But expect another Transmetal figure to come out. But this is, as always, Black Scream X. And now, like I keep on saying, if you like what you see, feel free to rate a thumbs up, subscribe. You really ain't going to be disappointed as far as more upcoming reviews and everything. So, yep, have fun, have a great day, and I'll be back at you at another point.